12वीं भारतीय छात्र संसद 2022।
आप सबको मेरा प्रणाम और स्वागत है विश्व शांति दर्शन के मंच पर, जिसके जनक हैं, जिसके रचयिता हैं MIT के संस्थापक विश्वधर्मी प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ कराड। आप देख रहे हैं सफरनामा भारतीय छात्र संसद का। इस संसद का मिशन युवा नेताओं को एक साझा मंच पर लाने और उन्हें राष्ट्र निर्माण के महान कार्य के प्रति संवेदनशील बनाने के कार्य के लिए समर्पित है। इसका उद्देश्य युवाओं के विकास से संबंधित नीतियां तैयार करने में राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय निकायों की सहायता के लिए उत्प्रेरक के रूप में कार्य करना है, एज ए कैटलिस्ट। भारतीय छात्र संसद के वक्ताओं का चयन राजनीति, विज्ञान, खेल, मनोरंजन, सामाजिक सक्रियता और प्रशासन जैसे क्षेत्रों से सावधानी पूर्वक किया जाता है। हालांकि इस संसद ने कई राजनीतिक मुद्दों पर चर्चा की, लेकिन इसका आयोजन किसी राजनीतिक उद्देश्य के लिए नहीं किया गया था। सभी दलों और विचारधाराओं के युवा और वरिष्ठ नेता अपने राजनीतिक सामान को, अपने कार्यों को पीछे छोड़ते हुए यहाँ आए और 3 दिनों के लिए एक कारण और एक राजनीतिक मंच पर उन सभी ने साझा किया। आज के सफरनामे के वक्ता हैं युवा बिजनेस मैग्नेट, नाम है राजीव बजाज। राजीव बजाज एक भारतीय व्यवसायी हैं और 2005 से बजाज ऑटो के प्रबंध निदेशक भी हैं। उन्होंने मोटरसाइकिलों की पल्सर श्रेणी को पेश किया था, जिससे डूबती हुई कंपनी के भाग्य को नया जीवन मिला। इंडिया टुडे पत्रिका ने उन्हें 2017 के भारत के 50 सबसे शक्तिशाली लोगों में से 42वां स्थान दिया था। तो पेश हैं राजीव बजाज।
Rahul, you are the architect of today's function, this gathering. From a distance, I have admired you as an entrepreneur, but more recently, you have been a friend who has counseled me, given me your advice when I made my choices for my son. Thank you very much for your friendship, and thank you for the privilege of inviting me today. Friends, now I'd like to spend a few minutes sharing some thoughts with you. I was asked to speak on the subject of GDP, Gross Domestic Product, versus GDH, Gross Domestic Happiness. Can you imagine how nervous I was when I was asked to speak about this? I can tell you, you must be watching business news on television. You can see the business anchors, the media people, the journalists, very aggressively asking the finance minister of this country, what is going to happen to the GDP of this country? But I can also tell you, if you ask those people what GDP stands for, what does it include, what does it exclude, what factors it is sensitive to, what are the exceptions to GDP's concept, nobody knows anything. But everybody is very happy to talk about GDP. I have to talk about GDP versus GDH. I'm sure you're familiar with this concept or with this conflict. There is a feeling that in the West there is prosperity, but perhaps it comes at the expense of happiness. And a small country next to us, Bhutan, has been trying to propagate gross national happiness or gross domestic happiness as being more important than wealth or money or prosperity. So sometimes that is why this subject comes up. What is important in life? So you as students apparently have to choose. You can either be rich or you can be happy. You cannot be both. That is the predicament in front of you. To try and explain this, let me ask you a question. If a child is asked, are you a happier child because of your mother or father? What do you think this child will say? Are you a happier child because of your mother or because of your father? I think if I ask you here to put up your hand, how many of you are happier because of your mother Maybe very few, some people there. How many are happier because of your father? Maybe some more people. I hope my son will put his hand up. But I'm sure everybody will put their hand up if the choice given to you is how many of you are happier if the marriage of your father and mother is happy? Everybody. The individual mother or father is less important for the child's happiness. What is really happy for the child is a happy marriage between the two, a happy home in which the child is brought up. So I want to suggest to you with this example, you don't have to choose between prosperity and happiness. What you have to do in life is to make a happy marriage of the two. How can we do that? I'm not going to give you any gyan because not very long back I was a student and I know students don't like gyan. But I will share two personal stories with you which were very meaningful in my life. I hope some of you will find something meaningful in it, then I will be happy that I have come here today. The first story is to do with my Yogacharya, Guruji B.K.S. Iyengar. About 6 years back, I did too much yoga one day and I hurt my back. More specifically, I hurt my spine. I was laid up in bed for 3 weeks. I had so much pain that I could not stand under the shower for even 1 minute. Guruji came to know that I am not well. Guruji called me and said, "Come to me." And I said, "I will come, Guruji," but I never went. Because Guruji was a very tough Guru. And I was scared because I already had so much pain. And I thought to myself, in this condition, if I go to Guruji, my pain will be absolutely unbearable if he makes me do yoga. So I never went. About 3 weeks later, Guruji called me again. And he insisted I should go to him, to his institute near Law College Road. I met Guruji and he told me, "Come, let's do some yoga together." Guruji and I did yoga together for 2 hours, one-to-one exclusively, one of the greatest privileges of my life. He first made me sit on a stool and twist gently. Then he made me stand and stretch. Then he made me do back bends, the very same asanas that had caused my problem. And then in the middle of the room, he even made me stand on my head, do a sirsasana or headstand. And he hung a 5-kilo weight on my left foot and asked me to push against it. With every passing minute, I was amazed that at home I could not even sit or stand or take a shower. But here I was doing 2 hours of yoga and there was no pain. I asked Guruji, "How come?" What he told me in one word is the first word I want to leave with you. The word was direction. He told me pain in life is not caused by what you do. It is the direction you take that causes pain. It doesn't matter whether you are doing yoga, whether you are working in the company, or whether you are leading your life at home. Whether in yoga or in life, if your direction is correct, there will be no pain. Even when you are sitting here, I am telling you, if you are sitting forwards, without support to your lower back, you will have pain at the end of the day. The pain is not because of the chair, the pain is because your direction of sitting is not correct. So that's the first lesson Guruji taught me that day. If your direction is correct, there is no pain. I went home, I was completely at ease. I slept well, I ate well, I had a shower. I woke up next morning, I was still okay. So I myself went back to Guruji because I wanted more of the same. And I asked him, "Guruji, I was recommended surgery for my spine. And with 1 2-hour session of yoga, You have done this. How is this? He said to me, my child, in one word, yoga is alignment. This is the second word I want to leave with you. He said, yoga is also alignment, management is also alignment. Life is also about alignment. Alignment of one toe with another toe, one leg with another leg, both feet with both hands, your whole body with your mind with your intellect, and hopefully all of you with a higher purpose in life, which hopefully you are all searching for. Unless you align every aspect of yourself in the direction you have chosen, how can you reach there? So these were two words I learned from Guruji that day: direction and alignment. If the marriage has a good alignment, the child is happy and healthy. If the marriage is misaligned, the child can never be happy, no matter how much prosperity is there in the house. The second story, friends, I want to share with you is to do with a Japanese professor who taught me a great lesson in management in the most insulting way possible. His name is Professor Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi-san, we used to call him. When I first met him, I was in charge of Bajaj Auto's R&D and engineering. We were working hard on the Pulsar. And he asked me a simple question, and run it through your minds as I am telling you this story. He asked me, what is your job? I said to him, Yamaguchi-san, I am Vice President Products. And his exact words to me were, stupid boy. That is your designation, that is not your job. What is your job? So I said to him, Yamaguchi-san, my job is to develop motorcycles. He said, oh, I see. You are working on the drawing board or on the CAD station. So I said, no, I am not personally actually working on the drawing board. He said, then what is your job? So there was a concept that time called design for manufacturing. I said to him, Yamaguchi-san, my job is to make a design which is very, very efficient for manufacturing. He said, oh, now I understand. Working on the machine is your job. I was thinking to myself, I am Rajeev Bajaj and he's making a worker out of me. So I said, no, Yamaguchi-san, I don't work on the machine myself. Then he said, then what is your job? So I was getting very anxious by then. I said to him, Yamaguchi-san, my job is to develop such beautiful motorcycles that all the boys sitting here should want to buy it. Maybe some girls also, I don't know. He said, oh, now I understand. You are salesman in dealer workshop. You are working in dealership. I said, no, Yamaguchi-san, I am not doing that also. So then he looked at me and he said, you don't design, you don't make, you don't sell, then what is your job? Then after some time he smiled and he said, I know you are a manager, only talking is your job. So he said, you people, you so-called managers in companies, you don't do anything with your own hands. See, at least a surgeon, a cricketer, a musician, a chef, all these professionals have to work very hard with their hands. But managers only working with the mouth. Only yak, 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 blah, 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 blah all the time. So then I only asked him, please tell me what is my job. And he said, the third important word I want to leave with you, improvement is your job. Every day you must ask yourself, can you create an environment, can you create an atmosphere in your company so that everybody who comes there is motivated to do better than he did yesterday? If you can create this kind of empowerment, enablement, then you are doing your job. I was very happy because I thought I had learned something. Next day, Yamaguchi-san came to Bajaj Auto. First thing he asked me, what is your job? I said, Yamaguchi-san, improvement is my job. Immediately he asked me, Good. What is your action? I said, what do you mean? He said, this is the problem with Indian people. In India, nobody does. Only Ganesha does, Ganesha does, Ganesha does. He said, yesterday I told you, improvement is your job. You accepted it. But you have not taken any action since morning. You are only talking again. Improvement is my job, improvement is my job. So friends, what I want to say to you through these two stories of 4 words is that as you go forward, whether you go into politics or you go into any other profession, ask yourself, when you have any pain in life, because life will offer you a pain or the other every now and then. When you have any pain, ask yourself, is my direction correct? Is my direction logical and ethical? Is my direction a shortcut? Am I taking a roundabout route? Or is my direction correct? 2, if my direction is correct, is all of me aligned? Or am I distracted? Am I fragmented? Am I looking here and there? Is my mind somewhere else, my body somewhere else? Or is all of me aligned in my direction? 3, every day you go to work, ask yourself, what can I do better today? And 4, whenever you get an idea to do something better, please put it into action. I think if we follow these 4 words, I hope some of you will agree with me, we can achieve both prosperity and happiness. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajuji. I think we were expecting you to speak more, and there is little one. We both have one similarity, my dear students. We both are SOBs. Son of the boss. My father is sitting here, Dr. Karad, and his father. So we have a very wonderful that from first generation to next generation. So I think wonderful, Rajuji. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you.